Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Anne Manera. Welcome to today's live color along. Today we are meeting on an odd day, not our typical Monday, because I had to reschedule Monday, this past Monday's color along to today. So this morning we are coloring a page from, again, Color Along Volume 12, and we're going to be using crayons. I'm actually going to be using Faber-Castell crayons. Trying to do something a little different with my dogs today, and I don't think it's working. So let me get them settled while everyone finds the page. We're coloring the page with the lighthouse this morning. We're going to be coloring in the Impressionism style, which is always one of my favorites to do. If you're part of the Color Along Volume 12 group and you have this book, then you will have received, last week you should have received a PDF packet all about Impressionism. So if you have not received that, then let me know, and I will resend that after today's color along. So let me just get the dogs settled while everyone gets themselves settled, gets out their crayons, and then we'll get started. So before we begin, we have to say good morning to everyone. So good morning, Melody. Hello, Bonnie. Bonnie Hughes is here with us this morning. Good morning, Lisa. Chris Costelli has joined us this morning. Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Mary. Oh, crazy storms last night, right? Wasn't it, Mary? It was unbelievable. Yesterday afternoon, too, there was crazy storms. I had to finally, my little pop-up gazebo in my backyard actually broke. I had to throw it away, so it was a little crazy. But I don't remember hearing anything last night. Did you get any damage, Mary? Good morning, Alexandria. Who else is with us this morning? Good morning to Sandra. How are you? Sandra, I emailed the PDF to you. Hopefully you can find that. Who else is here? I know there was other people here. Jean Mellinger. Thank God. You've been on my mind. Jean Mellinger's here with us this morning. She's able to comment. Hey, Trish. Hey, Alice. Jean Mellinger, you've been on my mind. I'm so glad that Facebook fixed the issue. Jean was having a problem where she was not able to comment during the live stream, and she contacted Facebook and they fixed the problem for her. So if you're having a problem where you cannot comment, or you cannot see all the comments, or you cannot, what else can you not do? Hey, Dawn. Little things you can't do. Some people say they can't see all the comments. Some people say that they don't think all their comments are being seen, or they cannot comment at all. If you're having any of those issues, you need to really kind of take a few steps. The first thing I would do is restart my computer. Always kind of like, turn off, turn back on. Second thing I would do is I would check to see if I could use a different browser. So if you're using Chrome, maybe you want to use Firefox, or I know Safari sometimes is a little bit iffy. If all those things don't work, send a message over to Facebook, and there's obviously a problem going on. Hey, good morning, Amy. And that was the case with Jean. We tried all those different steps, and finally she did contact Facebook. Let's get these dogs something. What is going on, dogs? All right, let me get it for you. Hold on. They dropped their crayons. Hang on. Go. And for you. Good job. Okay. Lay down. Whew. Okay. Paisley and Scarlett must need more excitement in their life, because they think that this is like the most exciting thing that ever happens to them, I think. Hey, good morning, Amy. Melody is saying, I even deleted the Facebook app and reinstalled it. Yeah, exactly. If that's the case, then if you're using a mobile device and it's happening there, the best thing to do to fix anything is, if you're having a problem with your internet connection, I mean, what's the first thing they always say for troubleshooting is to power down. Shut down, shut everything off, come back on. It's just like a reset. Think of it as, I'm having a bad day, I've got to go to sleep, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. So think of it that way. Technology gets tired every once in a while. Okay, so we're coloring today in the Impressionism style. And in my coloring handbook, plus I have a few other things to talk to you guys about today too. But in my coloring handbook, there is a tutorial or a lesson, if you will, about Impressionism. And we're going to take a look at this. And is actually, if you go to my website, you can actually get this particular, this Impressionism PDF as a PDF for free from this book on my website. You can get this under the free pages. You can download this. I'm going to try coloring while babysitting. Oh my goodness. Let's see if Anne is better than Scooby-Doo. I don't think so. I don't think so, Trish. Hey, good morning, Diana. So Impressionism. Let's talk about Impressionism. Impressionism is a style of painting and developed in the 1800s, and a lot of the artists that are part of the impressionistic movement or art genre. One of them is Van Gogh, another is Monet. Pissarro is also mentioned in this book, and there's some links here that you can go over and learn more about those styles of art. And I guess when we want to think about Impressionism, we want to think of two things: vivid colors and loose brush strokes. So short strokes, a lot of it looks a little blurry if you're kind of standing too close to it. So it's best viewed from like 5 to 8 feet away. Proportion is not really a concern with the Impressionist paintings. Some of them look a little askew, a little like out of whack. They don't look perfect, so it's definitely not like a detailed architectural type drawing. And they concentrated on textures and movement, and the movement actually was created by the textures. So the brush strokes were very visible. It's not a smooth looking piece of work. And if you can see in this book how this has these little tiny brush strokes here just to create that water that's inside in this drawing here from this this page here that's on this in this book. So what I like to do is kind of take these different styles of art and apply them to coloring, because I think it's kind of a fun way to challenge ourselves and to learn a little bit more about different artists throughout history. So we're going to apply this Impressionism style to this coloring page today, and you can use different things. I mean, today I'm going to use crayons. Sometimes you can use oil pastels. You can use colored pencils, chalk pastels. You could probably use marker, but I really don't think it gives it as much of an impressionistic look to it. So our focus today is going to be short strokes with vivid colors. So that's kind of like the first focus. So the third paragraph here kind of gives you some instructions about what to do. You first want to color a base layer, and the reason why you want to do that is because some of those short strokes may have some white showing through. Maybe the paper is going to be showing through. So we're going to color the whole page a base layer. And what I like to use is kind of a neutral color. And I actually think I'm going to use this neutral color here, which is called mustard. So these are Faber-Castell beeswax crayons. They're triangular in shape. You can use any brand of crayons. And then as you color this coloring page, we're going to color on top of all of those. And we can blend colors, so we can mix red and yellow, for example. I'm sorry, red and yellow to make orange, for example, or yellow and blue to make green. It's almost, so we've done pointillism with dots. So this is a little similar where it's just those short strokes. And then this book, a coloring handbook, has this Impressionism worksheet that you can follow through, and at the back there's a full-size coloring page that you can go ahead and try it on there. So you can go over to my website and get this worksheet for free, actually, as a free download if you have not tried this book. If you're wondering what is the coloring handbook all about, with all these coloring tips and tricks for different styles. This is volume 1, so I'm committed to volume 2 now, apparently, according to Lynn Miller. She's holding me to it, I think. And I'm actually I'm going to start working on volume 2 over the next week or so. My first goal was to get coloring camp for the fall done. So believe it or not, take a look at the coloring camp cover before we start. Coloring camp for the fall has officially been scheduled for October 20th through 26th. It's Sunday through Saturday. And for fall coloring camp, it's the same format as every other camp, but we are going to be coloring a few different techniques. We're going to be learning how to color leaves and working with a lot of different greens. We have cubism at this camp. Draw a mandala is going to be at fall coloring camp. Stained glass, we're going to be working with watercolor effect, or we're going to simulate a watercolor effect using water-soluble crayons. What else are we doing at coloring camp? Now I'm forgetting. Cubism, stained glass, water-soluble crayons, draw a mandala. The camp books are actually on my website right now as a PDF. If you're part of the, I got to think of the other one. I've been working on this for the past couple of days, kind of putting everything together. But the, hang on. The PDF is there on my website, and the book should be on Amazon by the weekend because I just actually finished it early this morning. So October 20th to 26th. Watercolor effects, stained glass, cubism, draw mandala. Oh, grayscale coloring. How could I forget that? Impressionism will be in there. We'll have coloring leaves. There's going to be a color together, which is a daily color and action step will be posted each day during coloring camp. So maybe one day you'll have to use the color pink while singing out loud, that type of thing. And then there'll also be a coloring challenge, and then there'll be our usual activity pages. So if you are part of the Colorist Academy membership, you will be getting this book along with Color Along Volume 13. I think they're scheduled to ship around September 15th. So that is what's happening. I'm so happy you're going to sign up for this one, Dawn. I was going to invite you as you popped on. Oh, Heather. Hey, Heather. Hey, Pam. So if you're part of the Colorist Academy, do not purchase this book. Do not go buy this book or Color Along Volume 13. We want to make sure that that you wait for that book to come out on September 15th. But this book should be on Amazon by the weekend. Hello, Lynn Miller. So the first thing we're going to do is color this whole page with this mustard color. And I'm just going to go a very light color, and I'm going to kind of hang it. I'm going to hang the crayon. I'm going to hold the crayon kind of on an angle. So I just kind of get a light coat. So what did you guys think about yesterday's page? That was awesome. Those tulips. I can't believe, well, not that I can't believe it, but everyone's pages were absolutely beautiful. You know, I try to comment on everybody's pages, but you're not going to sing, Lynn? Come on. I try to comment on everybody's pages, but I'm afraid that I might be thrown in, you know, our Facebook hiatus, which is not a bad thing because when I'm on my Facebook hiatus, I always create a new book. So I've just got this mustard color, and this is just so that when I use my short strokes, I'm not worried that the white is shining through. So it's similar to when you paint, and sometimes you want to give your canvas just kind of a background color. So let's see what's happening with these rocks. I think I'm going to jump right into those. I've got some brown, I've got some gray. Of course, rocks could be any color. You don't have to worry about making rocks, you know, rock color. You could actually make them, you know, pink. Wouldn't that be cool? Pink rocks. And the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of give these little short strokes. So I'm basically just kind of, maybe little scribbles, lifting up. So I'm just kind of lifting my, my crayon off the page as I'm swapping between. And then I am going to add some brown in between. So see, I was just kind of like, just in between here and there. This is a good page to sing to, right? Color to the beat of the music. And then I'm going to take some white, and it's almost like it's going to blend it a little bit. But it's still going to remain those little short strokes. And then if I look at this closely and maybe squint my eyes, then it would kind of look like it's okay. It looks like one color, and if I step away, it will look okay. But up close, Impressionism usually looks very blurry. And I want to just kind of get a little bit of a darker color there. Just kind of simulate that corner. And there's my first rock. Put a little bit more gray over to this. I guess the only downside to these crayons is that they're a little bit, they don't have a very good point on them. So this is kind of a cool day, was it just National Lighthouse Day? Is that what I saw, Melody? Is that what, I think I saw you put something like that. National Lighthouse Day. I'm going to use a little bit of blue too, because maybe there's a little bit of blue reflecting off of whatever it is. Put a little bit of gray on top of this now. So kind of just change the rocks up a little bit. You don't want them to all look exactly the same. That would be boring. Put a little bit of gray around the edges, and then add a little bit of white. Just gonna give this a quick refresh. So feel free to share this video. A little bit of blue reflecting. So today's kind of a different day. We don't usually do color alongs on Thursdays, but when we start Color Along 13, which has also been scheduled to begin on October 14th, Color Along 13 will be held on Mondays and Thursdays. So I changed it up a little bit. I know I asked the group what other day Color Along 13 should start, and the general consensus was that, well, everyone pretty much said it's up to you. So I made an executive decision. And I decided to change it to Thursdays for a little while, see how we do. So we've got it every week, so it's going to be twice a week. Because we've only been working on Color Along Volume 12 once a week, because it was summertime and, you know, people just need to do other things too. So see how that kind of just looks like a little bit of a rock. You'll never look at rocks the same after this, right? I'm going to put a little bit of black in this corner and then put some white on top of that to just kind of pull it into there. Same thing with this. Kind of getting in that little corner. Again, some little short strokes, just little scribbles. You always miss Mondays, Melody. I know. How about Thursdays? Are Thursdays good? Well, you're here now, so what a crazy question that would be. That would be like asking, can you hear me? Right? You know, I'm thinking of doing something a little bit different for the camp giveaway. And instead of doing daily giveaways, maybe do one big giant giveaway and have like, I don't know. Or maybe I should do daily ones. That wouldn't be fair. That would be less giveaways, right? Got to get in touch with some, I've got to get in touch with Spear Farb and see if they want to do something with those watercolor paint. This looks a little rocky, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like a rock? Little bit. You can even kind of put some yellow in there. I don't know why I'm thinking, or maybe this one, this peach color might look good in there. A little bit. Just kind of make it look like. Now, don't forget vivid colors, but how vivid can you be with a rock, right? Hey, Cheryl. Naomi, hello. A lot of people here today. Like how vivid can you really be with a rock? Think about it. Not that vivid, right? So this is about as vivid as we're going to get with rocks anyway. Alice, you love texture, right? Isn't it great? I do too. I love creating some sort of a texture behind something or like putting something behind it. Creating that texture. So cool. You know, it's not all about, I remember when I first started coloring books. You guys remember this? Those of you that have joined coloring books like back in the day. You know, we'll call it back in the day now. When coloring was all about, you only used a Bic Market or Sharpies. And you just colored a solid. We've come a long way from that, haven't we? What were we doing with those? I've never used those because they just kind of gave me a headache. Started to wonder. All these people would complain about migraines. Sometimes I wonder if that's why a lot of people walked away from coloring and stopped. The coloring supplies might have been making them sick. But there's just so many other ways, so many different techniques to include, rather than sticking with the old boring solid colors. I think the whole thing has just evolved a lot. I'm a texture person too, Alice. Or as we say here where I live, texture. You know? That's for you, Alexandria. Okay. You know, I watched the Alaskan Bush People the other day, Alexandria. I watched it online while I was working on my camp book, actually. And I was getting so annoyed with that bear guy. He was bugging me. I was really fed up with it. But then I was watching something with, what's her name? Sue Aikens from Life Below Zero. She had put something on Facebook, and she had those offensive crayons. So I'm wondering if she colors, because she needs a coloring book. You still like your Sharpies and your Big Markets, Lynn? But you've still evolved more than Sharpies and Big Markets. That's not all you color with, though. One of the things that's happening in Color Along Volume 13 is we are going to color a page by first staining it with a cup of tea. He annoys the heck out of me. He's very high-strung, isn't he? Could you imagine being around him all day long? And he's on Instagram a lot. I don't know if I want to watch that show anymore. I think it's just like, it's just so fake now. And how do they meet all these people on that Alaskan Bush People? Where do they meet them? They're supposed to be living in the middle of nowhere, right? In the middle of the Alaskan bush. And all of a sudden, they have more romantic relationships than anybody else. It's crazy. Don't you think? Hey, good morning, Cheryl. So we're going to be staining a tea. It's called tea stained. And we're going to take a cup of tea, and we're going to paint the page first. So we might have to do that like on one color along to get ourselves prepared. And then we're going to color on top of that. I saw a post yesterday. Somebody painted their coloring page with coffee, with a cup of coffee. They dipped their, I think she did it on purpose, right? I don't think she said, I don't think she was like drinking coffee and accidentally dipped her brush. Although, you never know how many of us paint that have drank the paint water. Mary says, I will never look at a rock the same. I know. There's not just one color. There's many, many colors. I have a box of rocks here, actually, because we're going to be painting rocks in the Colorist Academy group on August 24th. You know, speaking of texture, I should show you the painting that we did at the painting membership group. Alice, you would love it. Let me see if I have it here. Here it is. We did these was it a couple of weeks ago, last week? This is a painting that we did in the painting membership group, in the painting classes. And here's his second one I did, actually. I like this one better, though. We placed paper doilies on top of this, and then we painted on top of the paper doily to create this pattern or texture on here. Alice says, our friend came over last night and I showed her some of my colored pages. She couldn't believe there was so many different things you could do to a coloring page. Isn't it amazing? I agree. Lisa, you should post that rock you painted. It looks like a camper. You have to find a rock that is really, truly a good shape, right? I like finding a rock that looks like an animal. You know? It kind of just like hits you. Did you get any damage, Mary, from all those storms? We had crazy storms here in New England yesterday. Matter of fact, there's a lot of places right around me, like not very far from me, that don't have power. So I'm thankful that we have power. A lot of fire trucks today. Add some white on top of this to make it kind of a darker gray. These crayons blend really well. So if I just kind of short stroke it, you know, that'll be a term. You know what that makes me think of? It makes me think of that Friends episode when Phoebe changed her name to Princess Consuelo Banana Hammock. Is that what she named herself? And the boyfriend said, "Do you really know what that means?" So I'm wondering. You wonder sometimes if you make up a word, if you really kind of like, I don't know. You got maybe it's something that you shouldn't be saying, or I'm gonna add some peach into this, and then I'll add some white. John says, those rocks look like you took a picture and adjusted it, if you know what I mean. I love the way they are coming out. Thank you. That's a compliment. I've got the adjusted photography look. Right? I've tweaked it. I think maybe... I think a lot of people have dipped the paintbrush. I think that Lynn was more like really into the moment when she did that. Which brand of crayons, Naomi's asking? I am coloring with Faber-Castell. Faber-Castell beeswax crayons. Very cool. I've had these for a while. I don't really use them very often, though. And then I'm going to put a little bit. Look how nice the black blends with the white. Look how nice that does that. Amazing. And you could actually kind of maybe a little like line. We'll call them rock veins. I should add some to the rest of them. See, the white is just kind of blending it and muting it a little bit. But I'm going to add a little bit of rock vein. I'm going to put some white on top of it to mute the rock vein. Because you want to hide those veins, you know? It's like putting makeup on veins on your legs or something. Who does that? No, I don't do that. Kind of muted again with this white. Hannah says, we're lucky we had a big tornado in 1989. Our house had total damage and the next neighbor would have nothing. Oh my goodness. You're right. A friend of mine will not allow me to say the word pocketbook. Apparently it means bad things. Really? I did not know that. Faber-Castell makes so much stuff that you don't even realize they make. And I think that I don't remember how much these were. Wait a minute, let's see. Something 99. So I don't know. These were bought at Hobby Lobby. I think they might have been a gift. Or I don't know why the price is off. Who knows? Maybe I'm trying to trick myself. Maybe I wrapped them up for myself, gave myself my own gift. Anyway, the prices of Faber-Castell products, I think, are way cheaper than you would imagine they would be. And the quality is incredible. If I had to choose like my top 5 brands of art supplies, this would be in the top 5. Derwent. I always use Derwent to draw with. The other one that I would use Black Widow colored pencils are up there. But they don't make a whole range of products. Crayola would be my top 5. So Faber-Castell, Derwent, Crayola, Staedtler. Who could forget that, right? Because they make a variety of products. And Sakura. They would be up there. That's my list. That's my dream list. I mean, there's other products that I like too that I think are still just as good. But I just think that those companies make a lot of different products. And all of this, everything that they make is good. What do you guys think about that? Heather's saying Faber-Castell back to school beeswax crayons 24. Oh my goodness, how much are those? She's got the link here. Would a blending stick work in some areas? I think it would, yes, because it's soft enough. The other thing you could do is you could blend with some oils. But what you don't want to happen here, Karen and everyone else, is that you don't want the the color to be so blended that it's smooth, because we're working on an impressionistic style of painting. We're trying to simulate that. And we want to talk about short strokes, and we want to have vivid colors. So this is about as vivid as a rock could be, unless we decided to color these rocks with like pink or blue. Yeah, everything's amazing. Faber-Castell. Oh, we can't forget our polychromos, right, Melanie? True. And Derwent, everything is amazing with Derwent. Plus, you know what the other thing is, that when I'm looking for something to use, any type of art supply, I go about by the smell or the odor. I love Sperrfarben, but sometimes I don't know what happens to me if I'm using. I think it's because I'm using them while I'm talking during a live video, and they just affect me differently. So, kind of give me a little bit of a headache. So I'm not really sure if I like those too much. But they don't. All they make is just the. They only make the pencils and then those watercolors. Now we're going to try the watercolors. Black Widow needs to make something else, don't you think? They would make some really good markers, I bet. $5.50 for 12 and $13 for 24, and I have the 24 pack. And I'm going to tell you, if you were just going to get the 12 pack, it would be well worth it for $5.50. That is extremely cheap. I mean, considering how much a box of Crayola crayons is, they're really not that much more for that $5.50 pack. What do you think? Does anybody else have these crayons? Prang is a good. I like Prang. Yeah, Prang is a good brand too. They have Prang at like CVS and Rite Aid now. A little hard on the pencil though. What do you think, Karen? Think it's a little bit hard? Mary says Crayola has been around forever, so it has to be good. Exactly. I wonder sometimes if Crayola is involved with, if these companies are kind of like involved with one another. What do you think? Put a little bit of rock vein in there. Karen says, I was always jealous if the kids in grade school would have Prang products in their pencil boxes. And you still are, right? I know, huh? School pencil boxes just remind me of the smell of paste. Doesn't it remind you of paste? Thank you, Bonnie. Don't they look real? Short strokes, vivid colors. You can't get too vivid with a rock, you know? So, but adding that, this peach color, I think, it is called peach, has helped a lot. I'm going to add some peach here. So it's almost like a highlight to it. And put some black in here. Plus, don't forget the rock vein. When I was in college, we had, I took this philosophy class, and there was this question one day. I don't know why this question has always stuck in my mind. Like, for decades, this is stuck in my mind. Question one day in this philosophy class about, do rocks breathe? You know, you gotta wonder, right? I mean, there's a whole thing about trees and how they communicate with each other through their root system. So you gotta wonder about rocks. And do rocks get formed, like, are all the rocks that are formed in the world right now the only rocks that we'll ever have? Or have there been other rocks? Can't make a rock like you can grow a tree or a plant. So, makes you wonder, doesn't it? Okay. So there are my rocks. Now, the next section is water. And, again, short strokes. So let's get some dark blue and some light blue. And I've got this one. And I also have white. This also has another color blue, too. This has 4 different blues. We were talking to Nola Hensel the other day about blues and how a lot of products don't have enough blues. We've got sky blue, regular blue, dark blue, and ocean blue. Bonnie has these crayons, and she likes them, too. Yeah, I love them, too. Dawn says, I have 2 sets of Prangs, and they're pretty good, slightly hard, but not too bad to do shading with them. Crayola Twistables would be an awesome product for this, actually. I don't know why I'm coloring from the bottom up, but why not? I'm going to start with my dark blue. And again, short strokes. And I'm kind of going in the direction of that wave that's there, but I also want to remember that it might be a little bit of a darker blue under here. I mean, I don't know what world people live in that the ocean around me is not blue like this. Unless we live in the Caribbean or something, right? But not here. I wish. I mean, maybe it's a dark blue like this, but it doesn't look like Caribbean blue. Here is ocean blue. I'm going to pop that in the in-betweens. A little bit, a little more like coneflower blue in a way, isn't it? Pop that on the in-betweens there. Now, you see why we had to put the background color there? Because you wanted to make sure that you didn't have anything showing through, just in case. And now let's go with this blue. This is a little bit brighter. And then at that tip of the wave, what do you call that? Where the foam is, right? The break of the wave. Oh yeah, true, green. Yours is emerald green? The water, yeah, well, depends where you live, right? Look how it's changing, though, with that white. Isn't that amazing? So then I went with ocean blue, and then I went with blue. It's just called blue, but I'm calling it blue. Just so I know the difference. Right, Paisley? And of course we have this lighter color blue, which I'll pop on in here and on the in-betweens. So if you were to look at this really close, all you would see was all these crazy colors. But if you step away about 5 to 8 feet, well, maybe like a foot. Let's not wear ourselves out by walking 5 feet away from what we're coloring. So if you walked away, maybe about a foot, or held it out at arm's length, it's probably about a foot, right? Amazing what you could actually see. And I'm going to put a little bit of white here at the tops. This is like one of those types of things, like it reminds me of someone's cooking and they're like tossing flour, like a little bit over here and throwing a little bit of that. And, you know, it's like put a little bit of blue over here. Put a little bit of white now. The Emerald Coast, my goodness. That must be very pretty. What side of Florida are you on, Trish? All right, so there is my first wave section. Now the next one, I want it to be a little bit lighter, so I'm going to not use my dark blue, but instead I'm going to use ocean blue first, which I'm a little disappointed in this color, to be perfectly honest, because it doesn't really look like I wanted it to look. You disappoint me, ocean blue. See, this is kind of blending a little bit with that background and almost making it look a little green. So, but it's okay. And I'm going to go with blue. You know, blue, just regular blue. And then we could pop a little bit of something in there, you know, just a little bit of something else. But if I put this white in here, it's going to really pick up. Look how that's really kind of changing what's happening. Put a little bit of dark blue down here. It was needing some attention. Because if I put that dark blue up there, then it's going to give me a different color altogether. And pop some more white in here. This seems like it needs something like right down here. A little bit of another color, multicolor. So it's almost like a multicolor look. This is one of my favorite ways to color, this Impressionism style. Okay, so there are my whole sections there. Now for the lighthouse, I usually a lighthouse is white, so I'm going to blend what's here with this white color, so it's blending my background. I don't know how vivid we can be with the lighthouse, but I am gonna put some yellow right here where the light would be inside that window, and continue on with this white up here to blend this. And then sometimes there's sections of it that's red, so we'll make this red here. And then I'll make it red here also. And then sometimes this is black up here, right? But for down here, I think oh no, this is blue. What am I thinking? I'm gonna get black. I'm gonna put a little bit of black down here. So almost kind of give it like a shadow or a shading. So I'm gonna imagine that our light source is coming from here. Which means that this side is where it would be lighter. So giving these short strokes here. Short strokes here. And then I'm going to go with my white again and short strokes. So you can kind of see the short strokes that are there, but I'm muting them with the white to kind of make it look like it's a little bit of a shading situation going on. I don't know what happened there. I guess there was like a, I don't know, a vein in the lighthouse. Put a little bit more black down here. Maybe a little bit more on this side here. Add some more white. And then this top section, I'm going to go a little bit blacker here. And kind of like shade it a little bit. But then I'm going to take my white and go on top of it. So that'll create the simulation of those short strokes. You can actually kind of like push your finger into it a little bit, blend it a little more, make it almost like it has a little bit more texture going on. I'm going to put a little bit of black back here. Make it kind of like pop, that type of situation. And then the background here is really kind of, it really simulates the sky. So, and this could be really just kind of all different colors, right? Because you can go with pink, because sometimes the sunset is pink. So I got some pink and some yellow. But for down here, I'm going to start out with some yellow with my short strokes here. And I'm going to throw in some of this yellow-orange color, short strokes again. Look at the nice contrast between that blue and that orange and yellow there. Put some white in there, just kind of achieve another color. And then do the same type of thing for the next layer or level or section of this. And just kind of rotate or alternate maybe how we get those shadows in there. And this has another one that's called just orange. And maybe a little darker as we get closer to the actual lighthouse. And as we get further out back onto the over to the left, add this lighter color. And then I'm going to add some white once again, just to kind of get it to be a different color. But not blend it too much that you suddenly make a new color. You still want to kind of see all of those colors that are there. Can put some peach in here. Peach is a nice colorless blender. that kind of adds a different dimension or a different color to something. And then let's go with this darker orange here. We'll try that first. Dark orange here. And then some short strokes here. And then some yellow on top of that. So we kind of did it the opposite. Hey, Shanna. Kind of did it the opposite in a way. And then I'm going to pop in some white here on top of it all. Now, as I get further up towards more of the sky, now let's try to, I thought, I mean, maybe introduce a little bit of pink too. Especially here, closer to the actual lighthouse. And then if we pop some white in here, it'll change the color of that pink. But you still kind of see the strokes there. Add some peach to this. Nice and dark behind that. And this way it will make this lighthouse kind of just pop. So it has a painterly effect to it, a painterly look, which is really the goal that you want to achieve with this. Put some light orange there on top of the dark orange. And pop some yellow in here too. Put some yellow here like I did to this side. And then let's put some short strokes of orange. And again, some short strokes of orange. This needs yellow, doesn't it? Right there on the top. Put some yellow here, and then maybe I'll go with some pink on this one. Starting to look like a painting. Too cool. I'll just give myself the, you know, maybe we need something in like a microphone or pre-recorded thing that says, great job. Great job, everyone. Looks awesome. Do you care if people say that? Does it fuel you to do better, or does it really even faze you? It doesn't really bother me. I don't really need to have that, like, you know, words of encouragement like that. How about everyone else? So do you need to have that type of thing? I mean, it's nice when people say it, but it's not gonna, I'll survive if it doesn't happen. Life's too short, right? Or maybe I've just been on this earth too long, or just long enough to realize that it's just not like the end all type thing, you know? But pretty cool. Looks like a painting. Move these over so everyone can kind of see what's going on. So, I mean, you kind of just keep remembering short strokes, vivid strokes. You don't want to blend. You don't want to make it completely look like a new color when you're blending it. You don't want to completely make it look like you know, a new color of orange as I'm adding this yellow. We want to see both. We want to see both the yellow. We want to see the orange here. Chris is saying, I appreciate compliments. It makes me more proud of coloring I have done. Yeah, I mean, I definitely appreciate them, but You know, I'm not gonna stick my head in the sand if it doesn't happen. So little tiny bits there. A little bit of yellow. 3 episodes and Anna's winning over Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is not on right now. I am taking the place of Scooby-Doo. Gotta put some pink in this one, right? Some pink here. And then I'm going to kind of add this light color here. I love a sunset like this, don't you? They say, though, a lot of times when there's a sunset like this, it has to do with the chemicals in the sky. So that part I don't like. Little short strokes here. And then where's my yellow? Naomi is set. And Chris, you said you have a separate group for this book because I did buy this book. Oh, I did not know, Chris. I didn't know. Yes. Send me a message, Chris, and remind me to add you to the group. Yeah, I do. I have a separate. Send me your email too because I have some PDF packets that I send out for this book. Did you just buy it just recently? I keep it as a separate group like that so that we can manage. Nothing really happens in it, Chris. It's not like it's a happening place to be. But I just kind of keep it so that I know who has the book. And then I send out supplemental PDF packages to everyone. Like, for instance, there's a PDF packet for this color along that kind of gives you more information about Impressionism. And I'll send you the PDF packets that are for the whole book, actually. I would love to include the PDF packets in the book, like the information in the book, but I'm at a roadblock with adding artwork by famous artists. So that's why I don't do that. I just need to put this page over here because we need to pivot. Is there a dislike button? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. All right, yeah, Chris, send me a message and I'll add you to the group. There should be something on the back of the book that says to do that. Is there? Thank you for buying the book. So we're getting down to the final stretch here. And I'm going to put some white there. Now see, this is an example in this section here of why we did the background. Because this would be a white piece of paper. And maybe you don't want that to be that white piece of paper. So you don't have to, you could have colored it anything really. I mean, you really could have done something really fancy and colored this section with maybe a blue and maybe some gray behind where the rocks are going to go. So you could do it that way also. I just opted to color the whole thing one color. And I'm going to put some yellow on top. And if you notice the difference in when you use the colors in whatever order you use them in. So for example, sometimes we use yellow and then put orange on top of it. Or sometimes I've used orange and put yellow on top of it. And I think it really does kind of make a difference. Like for instance, this one, I'm going to do this with yellow first. And then put the orange on top of it. And it'll give you a good change between those. So you want these little, I don't know, sections. This is from my book, Lazy Waves. And all of the pages in this book have these crazy, like, I call them lazy lines throughout them. And the sailboats, like very summery, very beachy looking look. A pale seashells, an umbrella. So here's some dark orange there. The info is in the back of the book. Yes, it is. Okay, good. And then here is some white on top of it. Last one. So exciting. I'm going to get to see what it looks like when it's finished. And then I'm just adding some just regular orange there. And then I'm going to add some darker orange here. Or some lighter orange. Excuse me. Now I'll put some yellow on top of that. And I might go back in and put a little bit of pink in some of these spots. Because we have pink here, right? So let's put a little bit of pink. Just kind of a little tiny bit of pink. What is the saying? Pink sky at night, sailor delight. Pink sky in morning, in morn. Thank you, Bonnie Hughes. Sailors take warning. Does anybody hear that? I always have like crazy knowledge. I don't know. Weird stuff that I say. Now, you can see how we want that to look like. You want to see the strokes. So we want to see strokes. You want to see vivid color. Again, you can get this page, this worksheet, this Impressionism worksheet on my website for free from the coloring handbook. You would get this page, and then you would get actually the page with the sailboats, the coloring page, which is in the back of the book. And you can take a look at a few different artists, Van Gogh, Monet, Pissarro, or you can just kind of Google Impressionism and see if this really fits the bill. Did we achieve the look is the question. Were we successful? I don't know. I think it was. I'm pretty happy with it. With the look of it. I'm going to see red sky at night, sailors delight, red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. That's exactly what it is, right? Let me see if I can find the link for that Impressionism packet for you. This way, if you're interested in that, you can get that. If you don't have the coloring handbook, you can go ahead and download that. So, yeah, here it is. So coloring camp is going to be October 20th to 26th. The coloring camp book will be on my on Amazon, hopefully by the weekend. The PDF is actually already on my website. And if you're part of the Colorist Academy, please make sure that you do not purchase that book. I will never say that most times, right? Because that will be sent to you. September 15th is when Color Along Volume 13 and Fall Camp are coming out to everyone. Thank you, Chris. So free Impressionism PDF packet. I'm going to put the link there. Trish, not weird, unique. Weird. They're kind of weird in a way, right? So there's that PDF packet you can go ahead and download from the website. So, so that is the Impressionism color along. What do we have coming up next? I know there was a couple of color alongs that I had to. Well, first we didn't have one during coloring camp week, and then there was one that I took the week off after coloring camp because what was I thinking? I should never have done that right after coloring camp. Won't be doing that anymore because that was crazy. And let's see. So we've already colored this one right here. So our next one is on Monday. We're going back to Mondays next week. Monday, August 12th. We have wood grain, and then we'll be working on gel pens. We're going to be working with brush markers. On September 2nd, a while away, right? But there's a page in the group right now, in the Color Along group, for the digital coloring page, which is those mushrooms, if you want to download it. Or you could take a picture of the page and load it into your phone. I'll be working, sharing my screen that day and coloring with that on screen. So this is the page we'll be using for the wood grain effect. And then this one we're using with gel pens with these little tiny mini mandalas on this black background. But this will be using colored pencils, and you could just use a variety of different browns. Thank you, Heather. So this is the Lazy Waves Lighthouse coloring page using the Impressionism style. So this was a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. Feel free to post your finished pages on my coloring group, Just Color with Anne Manera, or in any other coloring groups. And hey, do me a favor, if you've enjoyed this color along and you've enjoyed past color alongs, head over to my Facebook page and leave me a review, because a lot of people cannot leave a review on Amazon, but you can leave a review on my Facebook page, and it's always good to see those. So if you want to leave a review or a recommendation, or tell your friends about it, about what a great time this was, I'd appreciate it. So that's all for today, my friends. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you on Monday. Thanks so much.